Hello, everybody. Welcome to Funnel Factor. This is day 3 of Alison Prince Week. What we do here on the show is we break down landing pages of successful internet marketers in the coaching or info product industry. And we are taking a look at Alison Prince's 0 to 100K landing page this week. And we are going to take it through my trust test. So we've already gone through 2 days. Let's get this up on the screen, and we're going to go through the U of the trust test, which is hashtag upscale, and we are going to basically focus in on the design. Upscale is like high end, looks professional, does not look like a template. What design pieces are they using to build up credibility and trust with Alison and this offer? So real quick, give me a hashtag live or a hashtag replay down in the comments. Let me know you're here. I'm going to pay attention to the comments. So if you want to make some of your own comments down in there, I will see them and reply to you on the show. Okay. So we are focusing on design, remember? So we are going to just pull out the pieces that are a little bit unique to this page. And there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. So first things first is we have a very simple but professional logo. We don't always put a logo up at the top, but it is small and it's showing her brand, right? If people have been seeing her ads or they know a little bit about her or they saw her somewhere, featured somewhere, then they know, okay, oh, this is Alison's page, okay? It brings a little bit of legitimacy to the page. We also have a picture of her in the background. So it's a great way to be able to like show a face without it being like very prominent at the top of the page, because a lot of the times we found that when you have someone's face at the top of the page, it actually hurts your conversions. And unless in some instances is okay when the face is like actually pointing, like looking at the action you're wanting them to take. So that's kind of an exception. But I think this is a really great subtle way to be able to add a person, right? A face into the page right away without it like taking away from the actual like things you want them to see, right? Because people are drawn to faces. So if you have a really like not hidden face, it's like up there, it's perfectly clear, it's bright. If you have a face on there, that's immediately what their eyes are going to go to. And I actually really love how it's positioned. Her face, because our brain still wants to go to faces, even if they are very subtle. Her face is behind the headline. So if let's refresh the page. I don't know if this is going to work. It's not really working. I was going to like hide it and then bring it back up. But like when you first look at this page, if you are someone who like your eyes go right to the faces, well, she's pulling you to the headline, right? So it's going to bring them, first they're going to connect with their eyes, and then they're going to start reading the headline. In some cases they might even not really even notice that there's a face back there because they're drawn to the big bold words and the colors. So I think that's really, really cool. There's also some arrows on both sides, which is just drawing the eye in. It's adding a little bit of visual interest, but also serving a purpose of like, you should be looking up here, you should look over here, like this is where you need to be looking, focus on this. And so adding little elements of that is great. This also looks like it's a picture. It looks like it's 2 blended pictures. So we've got Alison over here, but then it looks like this was a like computer, like a monitor, like an Apple computer, over on this side. And it's just kind of like, it's not really there serving any purpose. Like it's really obscure. Can't even really tell what it is right off the bat, like looking at it, but it is just adding, like, rather than it being like plain and a white page, these little elements are just making it look unique, branded, and it's adding some visual interest without distracting. I'm sure multiple words work in this situation. Distracting from like where they actually need to be paying attention, which is headline and getting their information in and pushing this button. So that is just the top. Down here, we're going to come back to this. This is Thursday. We'll talk about social proof. But I really love the design of this page. It is a lot of pictures and they are displayed in a way that is just really cool looking. It's like a collage almost. You can tell that this entire background piece here is all one image, the way that it's blended. And then they just have this laying over the top of it. I love that. We've got, this looks like it is its own element here. This image is in its own little box on top of a background that has just her logo on it. So it kind of looks like, oh, this is going to be like, it's really great idea to break up your sections. If you're transitioning from one type of background into another type of background and then to another, like if you keep switching it up, usually the rule of thumb is like go from patterned to solid to patterned to solid. Like you don't want two patterns together a lot of the times. So this works really well because this background up here is almost a solid. It just has some things overlaid, right? Or underlaid. But when you get to this edge where the transition is starting to happen, it's almost a solid white background. So then going into a picture of her works. There's nothing right here that's clashing. And I think if you've ever started to put a page together, you know what I mean when like your things start to clash. It's like the super crazy pattern background going up with a picture. It's like just too much. It's way overwhelming. It's too much. And then because we've got a solid color here going into another picture with them, they're sharing borders works well. And then we've got from picture going to solid color. So that's usually the rule of thumb. Then we've got her going into her logo back here, which is very subtle. So this is almost still considered a solid, but it does have some pattern, right? Pattern meaning her logo. So we've got going back into a solid. Her pictures are great because most of the, like these professionally shot studio ones have very clean backgrounds. There's no pattern or texture to them. So they can be used in a lot of places. And then if you notice, this is the exact same picture. This picture behind the green and this picture here are exactly the same. It just has green on it. And so it's kind of a cool effect. But you can just tell looking at this page, this is not a template. This took a lot of custom work to create this. You had to create the custom background right here, the custom background right here, the elements, the graphics overlaid on top of another custom background here, this custom image here under this one. So like there's a lot of things, like this wouldn't be a page that Russell could share with you and you plug in your text, plug in your picture here, plug in, like some of it is that, but there was some custom stuff. This even here, these steps 1, 2, and 3s are images. And of course, we're going to talk about fonts on Friday. But in the 2 minutes I have left, I just want to drive home. There's these little elements here, the line, this divider, and then the arrows that we find occasionally, like just adding these little touches, these little things where you'd be like, well, it looks fine without them. Yeah, but if you add in some extra little pieces, that's what takes your funnel up a notch in upscaling it, right? And in making it look more professional. It takes it out of that template phase and into this is a custom designed funnel. And do we care about how it looks? Yeah, some of us do. But more importantly, we care about what it's doing to the person landing on it. If the person's landing on your page and they're like, oh, this looks pretty sketchy, I don't know if I want to even give this person my email address. I don't know if I want to buy this thing from this person. Like, that's not a good reaction for someone to have. They land on a page like this, and even if they just land on it and they quickly scroll through, it's gonna be like, wow, this looks really awesome and beautiful, and this person looks like they are professional and know what they're doing. I will stay here and read this. So that's the point. That's the goal here. This is an amazing page with the design, but more importantly, it's getting the job done. It's following all of the pieces that a registration page should have, and it is well designed. So it is perfect in my eyes, other than the few things I pointed out earlier in the week. Some things that I would personally change, but it's serving her. There's no right way to do it. If it works, it works. There may be a few things that you can add and tweak to make it work better, but this is obviously working for her. Sometimes you don't want to mess with a thing that's working, right? Because you can sometimes break it. So that is it for me today. Tomorrow we are going to dive into Social Proof Day, the S in our trust test. So go to funnelfactorshow.com to get into the free Funnel Factor Vault. The link is in the pinned comment. It is also right here. You can just go there, get in for free. There's also the trust test you can take. It is a free, it's linked at the top. It is a one-pager. You can go and put your own funnel through the trust test, and I basically walk you through the steps that I take the breakdown landing pages through every week, only it's created in a way that you can actually go and like make the changes. So on the show, we're breaking it down. In the trust test one-pager, I'm teaching you how to apply these principles to your own funnel. So go in, get that, and we'll be back tomorrow, and thanks for watching.